Hello Maxers, hope you're doing alright. Strange old times, isn't it? Hopefully you're all busy building project cars and stuff. I am. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some new side skirts for the M3 in the battle against Dan's Civic. Pesky Civic. Yeah, should be fun. Anyway, this video isn't about that, it's about Max Power of old. And we asked you, would you like me to bore you with a page-by-page read-through of this magazine, the first ever issue, or this magazine, the biggest selling issue ever? This was a 10-year celebration. And I thought that would win, because, you know, that's iconic. But it didn't. It was this one. So, prepare to be amazed by the magazine and slightly bored by my monotonous tones. Okay, so before I begin on this May 2003 issue of Max Power, £3.95 bargain. Bit of background, so this was 10-year on top issue. Max Power had been going for 10 years, it came with a free DVD and it was the biggest selling magazine I think we ever made. It was Max Power at its peak. And the other thing that I should just mention is, obviously there's some girls in it. I've covered up all the boobies because YouTube and stuff, so if you were here for the boobies, feel free to click off. If not, you know, you can still see the rest of them. Anyway, here we go. Max Power, May 2003, 10 years on top issue, biggest ever seller. What was inside? Well, on the cover, first of all, that's the Kingdom CRX Del Sol by Don Miles. We'll talk about that more inside. And the introduction of the Ice Maiden, which was a pretty cool looking shoot. There's the ignition, that's what's going to be in the magazine, but we don't need to talk about that because we're going to see it. So, same here. See, the number of post-its I had to cut up to do this, ridiculous. Okay, 10 years on top. This is a bit of a waffle about Max Power and how great it was, and then competition there. I don't know if anyone won, I'm sure they probably did. Looks like it would have weighed a car down nicely. And some pictures of the current staff at that point, and it's from the first issue, which Richard Burns appeared in. Rest in peace, top lad. Look, that's me, crazy guy. Where's Dan? That guy. Rog, was he the editor? Deputy editor at the time. Yeah, a few other familiar faces. Parksy with hair. This was a classic, 3 things that got us through the month, and what was the question? Our favourite moment in Max history. Yeah, the problem with this is, you know, you'd see what other people have put and you couldn't replicate, so, you know, you might have said, don't know, top secret Skyline going 200 miles an hour, or super down the A1, but, you know, if someone had already got that, you had to think of something else. So, mine was SP Engineering's RX-7, that was an awesome day, freaking hot. And Dan's was Jordan fettling his body. Not the only person to have fettled his body. Anyway, moving on, look at that. What an opening shot. There's the smooth looking Dom driving his CRX Del Sol Turbo with full kit and Ferrari red paint, 19-inch wheels. It had a lot going for it, that car. Very cool indeed. Look at it, clean as you like. There weren't many CRX Del Sols modified, certainly not to this extent, so it's made a really good cover car. It's not maybe the most crazy car you'll ever see, but it was certainly really nicely done. I mean, look at that red interior, that's wicked. Interestingly, Kingdom Development, so we're probably most famous for that Nova Pinky, as it was called, that had the Jap style front end on, which was pretty awesome. But Dom now resides in Foreign Climes and is building an awesome Porsche. So I can't remember what his Instagram tag is, but search for Dom Miles, or I think it's Miles Design, or sorry Dom, I can't believe I've forgotten, but check it out because it's a wicked wide arch 911. And I think it's going to be selling the kits too, so check that out. Anyway, awesome car. Sorry, I'm trying to get this done reasonably quickly because the last one was half an hour, which was a bit crazy. Planet Max news This guy Tom, he used to work for us, then he disappeared. No one knows where. Very strange. And this, send us your pics and get famous. This was Max Power's attempt at doing like a social media platform back when I don't think even MySpace was kicked off by this point, 2003. But yeah, ahead of its time. And then some pictures of birds. You know what? All this new stuff's kind of boring. There's Tim talking about overinflated tyres. Competition there, win some stuff. Oh, red stripe, tasty. More news, rip-off warning for Max heads. Think carefully about who you leave your car with. Well, that's interesting because I've been stung before, and I'm sure a lot of you have too. In fact, a few guys have messaged me about cars that have been featured or companies that were involved in them, and sort of given a few scary stories. Bad times, but yeah, definitely place to do your research. The tuning industry, what does T stand for? Anyway, us all dressed up as silly people, giving you advice. Some of them died mainly to make way for new staff. Bit dull. But this is interesting. Look at that, Max Car Club, the legendary Max Car Club, led by Sir Martin Clifford. North versus South. South, their best combined couple of cars got 961 horsepower, but up north they got 1,181, and you know, Frank Bateram's legendary Escort van was a big part of that. So awesome car. Look at that, Nicola Ulian. I mean, everyone's got their favourite Max Babe, but I always like the diminutively sized Ulian. Perky. Bit moody looking as well. Some birds. Doubt that's still going. puretotty.com. Maybe Google it. Tell me later. Virtual Max Gallery. It's pretty cool. I'm sure someone built something that looked like that. And that. And probably that. Other stuff. Tocker World Touring Car Game. That was a good game. I enjoyed that. Just buy it. That's the stuff that people sent in. Max Mates and Hates. Mates Alcohol. Yeah. North Face. Really. Butlins at Skegness. Oh yeah, I think this had been off the back of the Max Power Weekender. In fact, I think earlier on in my 3 things for this month, I think it was Max Power Weekender and Cheap Fags or something were amongst my 3 things. So that was awesome. If anyone was there at Skegness, great times. I think if you check out the Instagram page, there's a few photos from that one somewhere. What do we hate? Rain in LA. Yeah, rain in LA sucks. Paying £6 for a beer and £9 for a packet of tabs in Norway. Back then, that was expensive. Go to London now and you'll be paying probably 50% more than that even. There's that game again. Computer games, what was big then? Legend of Zelda The Wind Walker. And ATV2 Quad Power Racing. Never heard of them. And some music. Yeah, proper stuff. Right, car reviews. This was the Toyota MR2, or MRS, whatever you want to call it. It's only 140 horsepower, these cars. But they do handle really nicely. I remember being pretty impressed with this, but just felt like it needed a bit of a shove. But I think a few people put a 2ZZ engine in these, and that, I should imagine, is an awesome little vehicle. Virtual Max, side X exhaust, nice. Yeah, where did it rate? Didn't rate very highly in our overall results. Just below the Vauxhall Astra GSI, in fact. So, not great. New car news. What's this concept for the next Vauxhall Astra? Saxo replacement. That's before the C2 had launched. And a Brabus smart car. They were actually quite cool, the Prima Smuts. Well look, there he is again, on the Maguire's advert. They were great, those Maguire's adverts. It's actually quite nice to see an large uninterrupted picture in the magazine, because the design was pretty hectic. Next month, nice. That was from Spain. I can't remember that. I think that was Scotland. Lovely car. Hold on. Yeah, also her. And then project cars. Oh, these were golden times. So project Midnight Club 2 Skyline. That was the R33 GTS-T. They ended up in a gold sort of colour, and I thought looked really good. The most talked about project car in history, Project Slam. Maybe that was hyperbole at the time. I think benefit of hindsight would probably say other Max Power project cars have had a bit more love or legend around them. Project Thunder, maybe. Project 2000. Look, who's that kid? That's me. Jesus. That was my Escort when I just put the remote start alarm on, which is only meant to be for automatic cars, because that way it's kind of safe if you kind of try and start it. It won't be in gear and it won't jump through a partition wall in an industrial unit, which obviously never happened to me in my Escort when I tried to start it remotely. Langy looking angry. Dan putting brakes on his Skyline. Not that it needed them, wasn't quick enough. John Souther and the editors, Octavia. You know, brave move for the editor of Max Power to drive a Skoda, but he got a good deal. And apparently, he says that the current owner has been in contact and it's still going strong. So testament to Octavia VRS's. What else is it people doing? Project Vauxhall Corsa van. Oh yeah, it was a bit of a workhorse with a few mods on. Tim's doing something insurancy. This thing, I think we put some graphics on it. It's pretty useful. Don't know why it was in the magazine, to be honest, but it basically meant we had a vehicle that we could use to transport stuff around in. So sweet, cheers Citroen. That was a Cavalier that we beat Lotus with. Ended up getting nicked. All stripped out, pretty uncomfy. Cut springs, lovely. And then here's a 10-year on top. Happy birthday party with Chicks and Tasha Lee. Look at that. Now, if I'm honest, I don't remember this shoot at all. Like, I must have been there, and you'd think I'd definitely remember, kind of, because they're hot, right? But no, don't remember it at all. Maxi Patterson, Maxi P with his special candles. Anyway, we played lots of games, apparently. We didn't, we just posed for lots of games. But it's a good excuse to get some hot girls in the magazine and try and be a bit funny, which, you know, magic trick. That's a good one, make the girls' clothes disappear. What else did we do? Dan was a clown and they all loved his acorn cock. And that's always nice to see, isn't it? And then Maxi P's how to make your own birthday cake. I imagine there were some ingredients in that weren't strictly by the rule book. Wheelbase alloys, look at that. Loads of pages. Wheelbase still going strong. I think both me and Dan have bought wheels off them in recent times. Like, bizarrely, exactly the same design of wheel. Cruising live at Santa Pod. I'm sure I probably went to that, but I don't remember it. Only £5 for your chance to win this Saxo VTR. See, people are trying to do competitions to win cars even back then. Now every time you open Facebook or whatever, there's always someone saying, win this car, do a raffle, BOTB on every YouTube video you open up. I don't know if anyone's won, it'd be interesting to know. like the video shows people have won, but I'm sceptical. Anyway, fresh stuff. This is, you know, you don't need too much detail about this. I'll just flick through. That's pretty cool. Carbon gear knob from Reverie. They're still going up. Nick Colchester, carbon fibre experts. Mainly do stuff for like Lotuses and lightweight racers, but they do a few cool bits and a few nice universal bits. Fast Forward Motorsport, doing a lot of stuff. Blah blah blah. Don't know if that's if I talked about them before. If that's the same as Online Autosport, who are the Riga. Hold on, let's just take a moment here. See if there's any cool kits. Oh look, the Riga Infinity kit for the E36. Nice. I mean, there's some cool stuff in there. Not too much Jap style kind of things, but you know, useful little additions. RGM. There's a name. Anyway, I think these are the same people that are still doing Riga stuff, and I ordered some side skirts from them not long ago. They only go through eBay, I think. I think they call themselves Online Autosport now. Might be wrong. But I have to say, I was pretty impressed. They arrived well boxed, well packaged, and in not much time at all. So, I think thumbs up for that. I was going to say fingers up. Must be thinking about something else. Anywho, Auto Access. Where were they based? Milton Keynes. I'm not sure if they're still going. More fresh stuff. Look at that. You could get your brake disc customised with your name or whatever. That's quite cool. Titanium exhaust for a Clio. Sweet. TSW Pace wheels. I'm sure we put those on one of our project cars. Oh, which one was it? I can't remember. It's a nice wheel. Window tattoos. Rubbish idea. What's this? Cruising at Motor World. So I guess that was probably the Motor World attempt to do Rip Speed. Wolf Race wheels. They're Essex based. I drove past their place the other day in Malden. Don't know why that's interesting to tell anyone about. Motec. Yay. Scorpion exhaust. I mean, surely everyone's had a Scorpion exhaust at some point. I know I have. More Motec stuff. Apex springs and shocks. Lots of wheels. How much of Venoms? You could get some 17s with 205/40 Falcon tyres. A set for £638.50. Take me back. I'll get some. Evo Performance and Styling. That was New Cost direction, I think. Not sure if they're still going even. More fresh stuff. Blimey, there's a lot of fresh stuff. Perspex bonnet vent. Italian eye poppers. Who's that? Toro wheels. Alessio Volta polished. See, they're the wheels I had on my Escort, but not polished. And then I painted them black, which looked pretty cool, I thought. Mine Fiesta kit. Brave. Legendary Demon tweaks. Be interested to see what the adverts would look like now if they were doing them. I guess there'd be a lot more performance orientated stuff. Artec, the equally legendary Artec. If you saw my last video, I did make a comment that it must be for very young people because the type was very small. This one seems much better. Give them a follow on Instagram. They do some cool stuff, funny videos, and sometimes they post a few old school bits where Max Power type cars have been in, or Max Power ourselves have been in, which is cool. Max Power Live. Book now. Do book now if you're reading this back in 2003. It's going to be a good one. Really is, man. And look at that, sort of almost a holy trinity. Another Maguire's advert. Man, they had some money to spend back then. Danny Bling Bling James and his very sweet E36. Nice. Rip Speed, they're still going. Not quite the same way though, I don't think. Last time I went into Halfords, which was a while back. Okay, these are some testing stuff. Look, do you remember that Civic Air one? That was another one of our project cars. We had a metal wide arch kit put on it, which was pretty cool by a guy in London. Have no idea what's happened to that car. What's this? Muck off rims. Oh yeah, cleaning stuff for wheels. And look at that, Maguire's cordless orbital buffer. This was like, you know, if you were doing that back then, you were like basically professional. No one really detailed their cars, so they kind of gave it a wash. You know, this was detailing. Clippers, what? Some other stuff. What's this? Body bars. So that help get dents out. Nice. TSW. Shame they don't seem to be as big nowadays over in the UK. Anyway, let's get into some cars. This is Folia Tech Bora. Pretty mental. Had to have those struts to hold the doors open. Wide arch V5 engine, I think, which was the one that sounded great, but was juicy and didn't go very well. But pretty awesome build. I mean, that is wide. Not sure if it looks 100% right, but it certainly gets some attention. Nice kind of billet wheels, nice. What's this? Amber seal. Don't know if they're about still. Maximum security from Gap. The Gap, long time advertisers in Max Power. I'm sure they did a lot of business because we all needed alarms, right? And then more cars, which is good to see. This is why a lot of us bought a magazine. Anyway, so this is 206 with the Cossie blue sport kit, wide arch kit. I guess like looking back at it now, you'd kind of think, it's all right. Back then, that was quite a build. I don't know if it's just because people have got smarter or new products coming out, but I imagine nowadays that would probably be sat a bit lower, and the wheels would probably fit the arches slightly better, or be slightly bigger. But you know, turn up to a cruise back in 2003 rocking that, and you'd be damn mad. Sid Tuning's Saxo. I was trying to briefly glance through this earlier. I was like, is that the one that they ended up turbocharging? Because I remember doing a feature on that. Rog did this one with Sarah from Sid Tuning. I'm not sure if Sid Tuning is still going, but Prima Racing, which was always like the same company, just another part, they certainly are, and they're on Instagram if you want to give them a follow. Doing lots of Renault stuff. They're building an old Renault 21 race car, and they keep on posting up sort of Clios and all sorts. So cool stuff. I think you can still get stuff like the wide arch kit for the one at 7.2s. And I've got Midnight Club 2. That's what we built. Skyline 4. FHM. The race is on for what? I don't know. To get naked, hopefully. Kenward. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. Need to go to Waltham Cross. Demon Twigs again. Yeah. In fact, you'll find there's a few single page Demon Twig adverts through here. I guess they wanted to make sure you didn't forget about them, which is a good idea. More wheel cleaning. Nice enough Scooby. Again, it's kind of weird because, you know, I don't know if Scooby with standard wheels painted white would cut it nowadays, but I mean, this was, there weren't a lot of Scoobies being modified quite so nicely. Well, I say quite so nicely. Just weren't any that were really getting styled, to be honest. Let Team Tweaks again. EBC brakes, they're still going. Ortec. Just wheels, man. Elite, they're still going in Raynham. Team of Tweaks again. And then something about chrome rims. So 2003 chrome rims were getting pretty popular. These Volts were just about everywhere. Essentially, if you didn't have a set of those in 2003, 2004, you were probably like behind the times. Look at those traffic style wheels. Oh, lovely. as seen on the GBH Skyline, the wide arch railside, kitted metal flaked beauty, Schmidt TH lines, or Fin line as called there, presumably because they're chrome. Yeah. Don't know if anyone really does chrome wheels nowadays. Maybe some of the Volkswagen guys. Just on the lips. Who's this? Mega tyre prices. Savoy tyres. Who knows if they're still going? And then more adverts. And Powerflow exhaust, who were big supporters of the Millsy. And then test your metal. Here's some questions. How well do you know Max Power? Let's find a question. What was on the first ever Max Power cover? Was it a Turbo Fiesta XR2, a Pug 205, a Fiat Panda, or a Sexstaff Panda? And the answer was correct. Pug 205. If you didn't get that, get out, because I showed you a picture of it earlier. Something more tricky. What tattoo has Jordan got above her Fangita? A heart, a kidney, a knob, or a picture of Rog? I haven't got a clue, but I'm going to go a picture of Rog, because, you know, why wouldn't you? What was the answer? What question was that? 15. Oh, it was a heart, apparently. Who knew? Lots of questions. I think I probably wouldn't have scored that well because the questions were... Well, actually, to be thinking about it, I probably came up with the questions. But I've got a shit memory, so there you go. Oh, look at that. Win the mileage. Guess the mileage and win these new cars. See, people were doing giveaways of cars back then. Too Fast, Too Furious. Sounds like an interesting film. Must watch it. Pro Sport UK. Nice kits. Little sleeker kit there. More cars. Speaking of GBH, that's actually shot outside GBH's workshop, which went through a strange period of having Nemesis kind of next door, which is these guys. Awesome car, this one. I mean, as Evos go, full railside kit on an Evo. That's a thing of beauty. Posted this on Instagram, this feature, and if my memory serves me correctly, someone got in contact and said he owned it afterwards. I think it ended up being red, like a candy sort of red. I believe it might still be around somewhere. Very nice car though. Mine crazy Cobra suspension, ESP design. I mean, I don't know what this is about. I think it's because we were doing stuff with Universal for Fast and Furious, and someone probably said, we need to do a feature about Fast and Furious. And it's like, okay, well, let's make it our own. And I do remember the shoot going out and trying to film us doing Fast and Furious. Like Cy Freebill with his very cool Civic Maxi, I think maybe being a girl. And then I guess I was maybe director, just call me like Rob Cohen or something. Dan looking happy, lots of tabs were smoked. Obviously, in the day of the internet, in the age of the internet, we would have shown you what the actual film ended up looking like, but I don't think we even edited it together. So, maximum auto style, blah blah blah. Let's flick through. This Civic. This is an interesting one. These guys from East London built this very nice Civic, and I think there's Mark Fableson. Oh, yeah. So one of our regular snappers came down with me to shoot it, and one of the biggest issues with doing a photo shoot was always trying to find a location, and certainly in places like London where everywhere's like blocked off or busy, that kind of got really tricky. And these guys were saying like, oh, I know somewhere, it's only 5 minutes away, but their 5 minutes was actually like half an hour, so we kept on following them to different places that weren't quite right. And it was getting really tricky because time was running out. We could only be there for the day sort of thing. So we ended up just kind of jumping out and taking loads of shots of it on the streets, which gave me the idea to write it in the style of a song from the streets. I would read it out to you in the appropriate rhyming rhythm, but no one needs to hear that. Anyway, not sure the guy that owned the car really loved the feature, but a few other people commented, said they quite enjoyed it. Delta Styling by CortonAuto.co.uk. Pretty crazy stuff. And then the problem pages, so Dr. Egg Gasket, that's little Maxi, Tim being Noel Flames, haha. Nurse Jackie, hoo, I am ill, fix me. Black Diamond, MC Rallying, legendary name. Motion Styling, I think that's where I got my Alessio wheels from. Vidal Saloon, he looks like a douchebag. Oh, it's me. Right, Top Gear. And then, how can I be different? Silver alloys are boring. Well, you can paint them. There you go, problem solved. Excess Styling and Performance Center, RJM Motorsport, and then the works. And I was looking through this earlier, so this is how you fit Bilstein coilovers to a Corsa, Neil's Corsa, who used to do the works, Auto Tint Design. This is how you fit a PlayStation 2 converter to a car, which I think was also Neil's car, Rage Exhaust, don't see much. And this one was how to tint windows on an Astra, which I think was Neil's Astra, who incidentally used to do the works. So it's no wonder that Neil always got his cars built quickly, because he basically got it all done on these how-tos. Don't blame him, perk of the job. Another car, look at that, Kingdom front bumper, so they were all over this issue, weren't they? Cool Corsa. Black cars didn't often get a lot of airplay in Max Power, just because they didn't really stand out necessarily, but shot right with the right conditions, black car can look awesome. Certainly, I don't think it was till Max Power was in its awkward patch, just as we were leaving, that a black car actually got on the cover. Black Range Rover, for fuck's sake. Look, buy some ringtones. UK style, what's this all about? Oh, okay. Interior. How to do your interiors. Like race look, hardcore, or extreme. Like, I mean, don't get more extreme than an Alpine ice build or a Charisma build. I'd have gone race look personally. Look at that. Dan with hair. Ooh, suits you. Looks quite into it there though, doesn't he? Smut. More Max Power Live Smut. Excellent work. Car. If only shows were like that now. Clarion. And then ice section, which is massive. I'm just going to like bomb through this because I think I'm waffling now. Fresh stuff. Nice big sub. Brown bread sound deadening. Ice car. Pretty cool. One of the things I quite liked about this was, look, it's even got room for his spare wheel in there. Cool little Clio. Bet he has some fun in that. And then lots of hi-fi adverts. Hi-fi? Car stereo adverts. Quite amusing. Maxi P and Neil looking like dudes from Toy Story. Sorry, Disney, Pixar. Look at all these head units. Don't they look old? I was never very good with remembering all these code numbers like CDE 9801 Narby. Like, I wasn't an audio geek, still not. I have an Alpine I put in my M3. I couldn't tell you the model name. But it's pretty decent. Apart from it's lost CarPlay at the moment since the battery went dead. Who had one of these? Look at that. Do you remember when you had the little graphics going across the screen? Thought that was the bollocks. Great days. I always wanted a Kenwood mask. I always thought they were really cool. Never had one. Vibe. Tidy. Also do speakers and stuff. What does what? That's kind of useful, telling you what you need to know. Was there actually a max choice? No, I don't think it gave a overall favourite one, but there are plenty of max choices. More fresh stuff for kind of electronic fresh stuff. In-car fridge. Wouldn't mind one of those. And then, ooh, the Ice Maiden. I think the model, whose name escapes me, and I apologise. Yeah, she saw a picture of this and commented the other day, so it's nice to know a model was pretty happy with her old shoots rather than running away ashamed, because to be fair, this shoot looks amazing, she looks great, so why wouldn't you be happy with that? Max Power VIP Pass, access all areas, DVD, buy it now. I think that's probably the one where you see a lot of Dan hanging around at Max Power Live. So, the Space Invader attacks. Base Junkies. Cell Direct. Mobile World Car Audio and Security. Man, there's so many audio adverts in 2003. Let's buy caraudio.com, MCS, car audio, blah blah blah. Oh, hello, that's a nice change of pace. Sammy. She streaked at the TV Awards and was in all the papers the next day. Great. Yeah, sort of lady. Squeegee Hit Squad. Don't know who these guys were, but you know, eager, aren't they? Interestingly, so the car in the background there was, I believe, on the cover of Revs magazine. So sometimes when there were cars that we thought were pretty good, but they went with other magazines because they were promised covers and maybe they weren't cover car standard for us, we then offered them a little squeegee hit squad, just so we could show you guys the cars, but not in a way that looked like we were losing out to the competition, if that makes sense. So, you know, it still sits a nice enough build. It's not a bad build either. And then Max Power ads. Jesus, I thought I'd already seen Max Power ads. Insurance, like Performance Direct. Interestingly, they're part of a new thing called It's Compare, and they're pretty keen on modified cars, so you should check it out. It's compare.com or .co.uk. They're pretty friendly to modified car owners, and I actually did an online quote with them the other day and it came out very reasonable. More others. Adrian Flux. Is it Adrian Flux? Yes. There we go. Classic. Great bodywork. There's so many insurance companies. I mean, that's what made Max Power a lot of money, selling all these adverts. And to be fair, it worked because a lot of car insurance companies did well out of you guys, because we all need insurance and we all need specialists. So they were the guys to go to generally. I swear that looks like Princess from our office. I might be wrong. I want a Max Power motor that stands out in the crowd. John Editor, John Souther recommends a Honda CRX. Tim recommends a Polo, and apologies to everyone. I recommended an Amiga 2.5 V6 because on paper they kind of look cool, and there was Daz who had a gold Carlton at the time, and I was just kind of thinking like, yeah, it makes sense. Carlton Amiga, like the shape of them was quite nice. I went and bought an Amiga after I left Max Power to run around in, and it was shite. So apologies to anyone that took my advice on that. Yeah, the Max Top 100, love this bit. Had the 46 BMW M3 made it in note. What about the Honda Civic Type R? It must have been there. Yes, it had. Damn. Dan wins again. Jesus. Speed Shop, cars for sale. Love this bit. The interesting thing here is all the cars that you kind of think would be, well, it's just a different world, right? So 205 GTI, that's a bit of a non-runner for 250 quid. A Renault 5 that's like well modified for £3 grand. how much is this Astra with wide arch kit, big spoiler on the back, under £2,000. But then you start looking at stuff that's cheap, or has been cheap. Saxo VTR for 7,200. You know, Fiesta for £4,000, like that old ugly shaped one. Crazy. Right, Citroen ZX. Didn't see many of them. This one made me laugh. Look at that Golf Mark 3. Don't know if you can tell, but it's a picture of an Escort Cosworth. So, you know, Golf Mark 3 for £12,000. I'm not sure what's going on there. Someone got a bit confused, or the person putting these adverts together was drunk. Possibly the latter. More adverts. Boring. Well, it's not all boring, is it? It's boring for you guys looking at these now, probably. The Escort as modified by Haynes Manuals. Didn't do a bad job, I suppose. It was pretty nice. The silver and black was quite a nice colour scheme. But you know, they would have done it properly. More adverts. Smut. Lovely Smut. Chaos. This was a write-off in 2003. Yeah, a lot of strange questions and letters. Lots of people sending pictures of their birds in, which was always a lovely thing. There you go. There's Leanne. She's 19, and she's from South Wales. She looks eager. More Smut. And then probably outside of the cover car and a couple of the feature cars, in my mind, the best feature in the magazine, although I don't think it went far enough back in cruise history, but this is 10 years of cruising, and it's kind of been broken down into the north, the south, the west, the east, Ireland, Wales and Scotland. Now, here's some debate to be had. Where were the best cruises? Like, the north went to some great cruises up north. Probably some of my most memorable. The south often had very nice cars and tidy girls. The west also nice cars, nice girls. The east that's a bit raucous sometimes. Lots of Cossies that way. Ireland, that's got to be up there, isn't it, for tomfoolery? Although Wales, you know, Wales, you'd always have girls getting their tits out. As with Scotland, especially the old Creole jobbies. So, you know, our Celtic friends were hot cruisers. To be honest, if it was 2003, I'd go back to any of these cruises quite happily, because we're missing them. And then look at that. Are they the top 10, the top 4 birds from 10 years of cruising? Probably not, but I remember her. She was saucy. And Jenny Bruce, I think she did a few shoots for us. She was cute. And look, Max Power tin radio control cars. Obviously we never actually made these, it just had some company come along and say, can we put your name on it? But they did give us some to modify, which was fun. And that's the end. Gap security again. So, Jesus, I just looked at the timer, this is probably about 45 minutes by now, so really sorry that I bored you. I mean, looking back at that issue, I would say it's not a bad one. I think the DVD definitely was the high point of this issue, along with the cover car, a couple of the feature cars and that cruising feature. A lot of useful tips and stuff in there. Some tomfoolery, which is always nice to see, but yeah, maybe not the finest issue ever, but certainly of the time. Maybe I'll pick out the issue that I think is the best issue ever for the next one. What could it be? I mean, I'll give you a clue. I've looked through a lot of them. and I would say the early 90s, there were some very special moments, but generally each issue was full of quite a lot of shonky stuff. Around the time me and Dan were there, from 2000 to 2006, there are a couple of corkers. Post that, to be fair, I've only looked at a couple of the issues, but I think it would probably end up being an issue from around 98, 99. I think that's when, for me, modifying was at a great point in time. So, yeah, keep your fingers, not your fingers crossed, eyes peeled, that's the one. And, yeah, hopefully bore you again soon. Cheers!